Picture this. You just dropped $300 on an ultra-light, hypersensitive, high modulus graphite rod. You paired it with a $20 crankbait. A 5-pound largemouth absolutely smashes it. You set the hook, the fish rockets out of the water, and that bait comes flying back at your face like a missile. Fish gone, rod in your hand, pride completely destroyed. Now pan 50 yards down the bank. There's a kid, maybe 12 years old, holding a bright orange $9 Ozark Trail fiberglass combo he pulled off a Walmart peg hook. He casually leans back and yanks a trophy largemouth onto the shore like he's reeling in a wet sock. That knot in your chest right now, that is not bad luck. That is physics. The tackle industry has sold us a massive illusion for decades. They've convinced you, through magazine spreads, sponsored tournaments, and influencer haul videos, that spending more money automatically equals catching more fish. They've hidden extreme, catastrophic fragility behind the guise of premium sensitivity. And they've laughed their way to the bank while you cried your way to the parking lot. Today, I'm showing you exactly how to stop being a victim of the tackle industry and start thinking like an auditor. We are ripping the price tags off and examining the biological and economic reality of the $9 Walmart rod. Before we go any further, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell. Every video on this channel pulls back the curtain on the secrets they do not want you to find. And stick around until the very end because I'm going to reveal the one multi-lure strategy so mathematically devastating to bass populations, it's actually banned in 9 different states. The biomechanical forgiveness principle. We start with raw biology and why cheap materials actually catch more fish. The industry pushes extra fast action graphite rods so you can feel every grain of sand on the bottom. Sounds impressive. The problem? Biology does. Not care about your sensitivity. A largemouth bass is a suction feeder. During a strike, it's time to peak gape. The TTPG is exactly 22.4 milliseconds. The fish operates at a ram speed of 48 centimeters per second and inhales 27.8 cubic centimeters of water in the time it takes you to blink. Translation, a bass inhales your lure faster than your nervous system can process the event. If your ultra-stiff graphite rod transmits that strike instantly, your reflex yanks the treble hooks right out of the fish's lips before it can even close its mouth. The $9 fiberglass rod bends like a wet noodle. That bend creates a mechanical delay that forces you to wait until the fish actually has the bait. The $200 rod is a hair trigger mousetrap. The $9 rod is a bungee cord that saves you from your own reflexes. The high modulus graphite brittleness paradox. High modulus, one of the most profitable pieces of jargon ever invented. Higher tonnage means a universally better rod, the industry tells you. What they don't tell you is the catastrophic fragility that comes with it. Industrial carbon fiber pre-preg runs about $49.99 per pound for standard modulus, scaling to $64.99 and beyond for high modulus. Manufacturers use that cost to justify sky-high retail prices. What they omit? High modulus carbon is brittle like dried pasta. Cheap fiberglass weaves multi-directional fibers that are virtually indestructible. Translation, they are selling you a Formula One race car for off-roading. One tap against a boat gunnel, one swinging tungsten weight, and that premium rod shatters. The $9 fiberglass rod is a bulldozer. You can step on it and still fish with it the next morning. You are paying a premium for a product that is chemically destined to explode under real-world abuse. The Weihai OEM, supply chain, arbitrage. You want to know where these rods actually come from? This is where we start fishing behind the curtain. The Guangwei Group in Weihai, China, produces nearly 10 million fishing rods annually. They operate as an original equipment manufacturer, an OEM for massive global tackle brands. Here is the insider math. A $100 rod costs the manufacturer approximately $36 to produce. That is the number the tackle industry doesn't want you to know, ever. Translation, the $200 luxury rod and the $9 Ozark Trail Special are often rolling off the exact same assembly lines in Shandong province. The price difference is not the carbon, it is the 40 to 60% retail markup, the distributor middleman, and the $1 million marketing budgets funding the sponsored angler on your Instagram feed. You are not buying a superior weapon. You are funding a corporation's marketing department. Laughs. And if you're finding this breakdown useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Cut through the noise. The lifetime warranty insurance scam. Do not be fooled by the unconditional lifetime guarantee. Here's the thing, that promise is not consumer protection. It is a revenue model. Manufacturers know their brittle graphite rods will snap, so they bake an insurance policy into the MSRP. Then they hit you with mandatory processing fees every single time you try to use it. Some brands charge $85. Others charge $149 per warranty claim. Snorts. Translation: because the rod only costs them $36 to build in the factory, your $85 replacement fee is pure net profit every time your brittle rod snaps in half. Meanwhile, if your $9 fiberglass rod somehow breaks, you walk back into Walmart and buy another one. You are still $75 ahead. Premium rod warranties are a predatory deductible on an insurance policy you never asked for. The guide train smokescreen. I bet you didn't know that the high-end ceramic guides on your premium rod were engineered for a completely different species of fishing. Fuji Torzite and silicon carbide inserts boast a Vickers hardness of 2200. That rating exists to prevent your line from melting during 50 miles per hour saltwater runs chasing in pelagic species. A largemouth bass cannot swim fast enough to generate that kind of heat on your line. It is physically impossible. Translation: putting $50 SIC guides on a bass rod is like installing carbon ceramic, heat-resistant brakes on a golf cart. You are paying for saltwater aerospace technology that shatters the moment you drop it on a boat deck. Generic aluminum oxide guides on the $9 rod handle blunt trauma significantly better and will never melt your monofilament on a freshwater crankbait retrieve. Not once, not ever. Over-engineering the useless while compromising the necessary. That is the tackle industry's business model in one sentence. If this is already blowing your mind, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. The grade AAA cork handle deception. Natural cork versus EVA foam. This one infuriates me. Natural cork, the organic tree bark wrapped around your premium rod's handle, costs up to 95 cents per ring. Structural pits must be filled with putty before it even ships. It absorbs water, it absorbs fish slime. It degrades, pits, and rots in the field. High durometer EVA foam, the dense black grip on the $9 rod, is closed cell. It repels water. It is impervious to the elements. And it transfers vibration just as effectively through the reel seat, which is where your fingers actually make contact with the blank anyway. Translation: you are paying a premium for a piece of tree bark designed for wine bottles, being used as a handle in a swamp. That black EVA foam will look identical in a decade. Your premium cork will be rotting off the blank in chunks before your third season. The second inhale. Reaction. Exploit. This is the ultimate behavioral loophole, and it is why the cheap rod does not merely compensate for a lack of skill. It maximizes your biology. A bass does not strike and swallow in one single motion. It strikes to stun, then repositions to execute the second inhale and fully ingest the bait. If your rod is so sensitive that you feel that first tap, your adrenaline fires, and you yank the lure out of the fish's mouth at the worst possible moment. Translation: a $200 rod is a hypersensitive car alarm that goes off when a leaf falls on the hood, making you jumpy and costing you fish on the first tap. The heavy, deadened $9 fiberglass rod is a mechanical deadbolt. It filters out the noise and you don't feel the fish until it has fully committed to the second inhale and practically hooked itself. The cheap rod acts as an automatic governor on your adrenaline, forcing you to fish with the patience of a seasoned professional for $9. The historical material erasure. And here is the smoking gun, proof that the tackle industry knows the $9 material is superior, because they have tried to sell it back to you twice. Fenwick introduced the first all-graphite HMG rod in 1973. They aggressively pushed fiberglass into the bargain bins, declaring it dead technology. The entire industry followed. Fiberglass became the cheap raw material, and graphite became the status symbol. Fast forward to today. Premium brands are now selling 100% fiberglass cranking rods, specifically engineered to correct the graphite problem, at prices upwards of $200. Translation: the tackle industry told you fiberglass was trash, so you would buy graphite. Now that graphite's flaws are undeniable, they grabbed that same fiberglass from the bargain bin, painted it a fashionable color, and are charging you 2,000% more for the history Lesson: you're not buying innovation, you're buying a repackaged piece of 1965. Laughs. Here's the auditor's verdict. The fishing tackle industry operates on a carefully maintained illusion that price automatically equals performance. Through kinematics, international supply chain economics, and materials science, we have proven today that the $9 mass market rod is not good enough. For moving baits with treble hooks, its fiberglass construction and dead-end sensitivity make it biologically optimized to outfish equipment that costs 20 times as much. Your action plan breaks down like this, and there are no bullet points here because real auditors speak in full sentences. Deploy fiberglass strategically. Keep a cheap fiberglass rod strictly for crankbaits and topwater lures to capitalize on that 22 millisecond suction strike delay. Audit your components, stop paying the SIC guide and cork markup if you fish freshwater and abuse your gear. Because generic aluminum oxide and EVA foam are demonstrably tougher. And run the warranty math before you ever sign off on a lifetime guarantee. If the mandatory processing fee is higher than the manufacturing cost of the rod, that guarantee is not a benefit. It is a recurring revenue stream. Now, that band strategy I mentioned at the top, it is the Alabama rig. By mimicking a school of baitfish with 5-wire arms and 5 swim baits, it triggers the base's ram feeding instinct so violently, the same biomechanical instinct we dissected in Section 1, that states including Minnesota, Iowa, and Nevada have outlawed fishing it with more than 3 hooks. 1 rod, 5 targets. Mathematically, the fish never had a chance. Let me know in the comments which secret on this list surprised you the most. And if you want to see more of the side of the industry they don't want you to see, subscribe and hit the bell. I'll see you in the next one.